No, like we said, she came off just as genuine as she really is, man. And I
Yeah.
think it was cool to see the world react to it, knowing that they hadn't seen her in that kind of
Sources reveal that the newly engaged couple might not wait long before beginning their dream family. An insider told Us Weekly on Wednesday that Taylor was currently in a great place in her career, with so much success that she could afford to step back for a while. And the outlet noted that both she and the Kansas City Chiefs star, both 35, absolutely wanted to have children together. Reports recall that in a 2012 Marie Claire interview, Taylor once said she hoped to have at least 4 children, though in 2014 she admitted to InStyle through Pop Sugar that she wasn't sure if she would ever have kids, voicing concern about the challenges of raising them under constant paparazzi attention. By 2019, when asked about family plans, she declined to answer at all. Travis, on the other hand, often made lighthearted remarks about future children while hosting the New Heights podcast with his brother Jason. In April 2024, he joked to Arnold Schwarzenegger that he might even name his first child after one of the actor's characters. He had already stepped into the role of uncle in 2019 when Jason and his wife Kylie welcomed their first daughter Wyatt, who is now 5 years old and the older sister to Elliot, 4, Bennett, 2, and Finley, just a few months old. Travis often spoke warmly about his 4 nieces, calling them the best kids during a press conference in February, and Kylie herself praised him in January as a wonderful influence on the children, dubbing him the king of funkless just months later. She explained that the girls loved his visits because he always gave them his full attention, leaving distractions aside, happily playing on the floor or diving straight into fun with them. Meanwhile, Taylor and Travis had just taken their biggest step as a couple when he proposed earlier this month, an engagement they announced with humor on Instagram by captioning it with a playful comparison that your English teacher and your gym teacher were tying the knot. Reports suggested that Travis had been planning the moment for 6 to 8 months and even co-designed the custom ring that Taylor proudly showed off. The announcement instantly became a global talking point, highlighting how the merging of pop royalty and football greatness captivated audiences. Observers said that while their engagement looked like the perfect climax to a fairy tale, in truth it marked only the beginning of a bigger story, with the next chapter centered on whether they would soon start a family. Taylor's career was described as a series of reinventions, each album shaping a new era from Fearless to Midnights, while Travis forged his legacy as a Super Bowl champion and one of the NFL's most charismatic tight ends. Together, the two formed what many consider the ultimate power couple, admired not just for their fame but for the joy and support they radiated when together, whether Taylor was seen cheering in stadium suites or Travis was caught singing along at her sold-out concerts. Reports added that speculation about their family plans carried more weight than typical tabloid chatter because of Taylor's earlier interviews hinting at big family dreams, later tempered by her worries about raising children in the spotlight and her eventual refusal to disclose anything further by 2019. Travis, conversely, continued joking on his podcast about possible baby names, but his tenderness with his nieces showed another side. His sister-in-law Kylie often mentioned that he gave the girls his undivided attention, becoming the fun uncle who joined in every game with full energy, a role that earned him admiration inside the family. For Taylor, any step toward family life involved careful thought. She had built her empire by revealing vulnerability in her music while still protecting her private life from constant scrutiny, and though she long worried about paparazzi intrusions, reports suggested that with her current stability and Travis's support, she could finally imagine stepping back from her nonstop schedule to focus on personal life. Commentators described Travis's proposal as more than a celebrity spectacle, but the union of two worlds, music and sports, announced with humor that emphasized their relatability, even while the scale of their fame ensured every detail went viral. Social media exploded with congratulations and speculation about the future, while families on both sides openly voiced their support. Travis's mother Donna had been spotted at Taylor's concerts enjoying the shows like any other fan, and Taylor's parents, known for being closely involved in her life, were said to have embraced Travis warmly. Still, the challenge of raising children under intense public focus remained real, as fans and media would inevitably dissect choices from names to birthdays. Yet many pointed out that both were uniquely equipped to handle such pressures, with Taylor long proving her resilience by turning criticism into creative triumphs, and Travis thriving on high-stakes moments in his career. The key question lingered: How soon would the world see a Swift Kelce baby? Insiders suggested it could happen sooner than expected since both stars were enthusiastic about building a family, though they would certainly do it in their own time and on their own terms. Imaginations ran wild at the possibilities, from Taylor writing lullabies as bedtime songs to Travis tossing a football in the yard with little ones. For fans, their engagement and family plans represented something more than celebrity gossip. It symbolized the idea that love and ambition could exist side by side, and that even at the height of fame, family could still be the most meaningful legacy. Observers concluded that Taylor and Travis's greatest story might not be measured in albums or trophies, but in the family they eventually create, a future chapter everyone was eager to see unfold, reminding people that sometimes the best and most magical sequels happen not on stage or on the field, but in the home. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were reported to have taken their relationship to the next level as news spread that the two had become engaged, a development that many described as something out of a romantic comedy, though in this case the characters were not a high school teacher couple, but a Kansas City Chiefs all-pro tight end and one of the most famous global pop stars of all time, both aged 35, who made their announcement in a joint Instagram post that took the internet by storm. On August 26th, an event that quickly made headlines across the world and ignited endless discussions among fans and media outlets alike as the 5 photographs they shared painted the full story, showing Travis down on one knee in a lush garden while Taylor smiled widely as she displayed a massive ring, the kind of diamond that was so dazzling it was described as visible from space. A moment long awaited by millions ever since whispers about their relationship began surfacing in July of 2023 when Travis had playfully mentioned on his New Heights podcast that he brought a friendship bracelet containing his phone number to one of Taylor's era's tour stops at Arrowhead Stadium, a move seen as audacious yet clever, one that ultimately paid off far beyond expectations. And from that spark grew a romance that culminated in this engagement announcement that shocked fans and proved the speculation true, leaving many to wonder what their shared future would look like, and particularly raising the question of where the two would decide to build a home together, considering that each had already amassed a staggering collection of properties across the country, properties that themselves told the story of their individual journeys, successes, and personal tastes, beginning with Taylor's extensive and carefully curated real estate portfolio, which seemed to evolve alongside her artistic career. Reports recalled that when Taylor was only 19, at the crest of her breakout success, she purchased her very first home, a 3-bedroom penthouse in Nashville situated near Music Row, for the sum of $1.99 million, a remarkable investment for someone so young, which proved why, since today the property is estimated at more than $5 million, reflecting both Nashville's booming market and her knack for smart decisions, and that marked only the beginning as in 2011, she expanded further by acquiring a Greek Revival-style estate in the Nashville suburb of Forest Hills, set to serve as her mother's residence and cherished for the family memories it held, while in the very same year she shifted attention to the West Coast and bought a Cape Cod-style cottage in Beverly Hills for $3.55 million, a home known for its storybook charm that became the backdrop for countless photographs, though eventually she sold it in 2018 for $4 million as her taste matured and her career soared, with each transaction proving she not only had an ear for music but also an instinct for property value, for by 2012 she was already adding a mid-century bungalow to her growing list for $1.78 million, which she later sold for $2.65 million, another profitable move. Yet her crown jewel in California came in 2015 when she purchased a mansion in Beverly Hills for $25 million, a property not just notable for its luxury but for its legacy, as it once belonged to Samuel Goldwyn, the founder of a major film studio, giving Taylor a residence steeped in Hollywood history with expansive lawns and prestige, befitting a superstar of her stature. But her acquisitions did not end there. She famously bought a massive oceanside estate in Watch Hill, Rhode Island in 2013 for $17.75 million, reportedly paid in cash, a home that swiftly entered pop culture thanks to the 4th of July party she hosted, gatherings attended by stars like Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Gigi Hadid, making the house nearly mythological for fans who even considered it a pilgrimage site, and her real estate saga only continued when she turned toward New York in 2014, securing not just one but 2 adjoining penthouses in Tribeca for $20 million, which she combined into one sprawling multi-level condo with glamour and privacy. And while renovations occurred, she rented a West Village carriage house for $39,500 per month, a period that deepened her love for New York's vibrancy, leading her by 2017 to purchase a nearby townhouse for $18 million, and by 2018 she further expanded by buying a $9.65 million apartment in the same building, demonstrating that her vision for property was expansive and that she was not simply collecting houses, but assembling an empire reflective of her evolution from country singer to international icon. At this point, a quick note reminded listeners not to miss future updates and to subscribe for more stories like this, short and sweet.